Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to dive into a really beautiful and, a very thought-provoking short story. It's called Bonsai Life, and it's by an author named Abari Shayadevi.
So, right at the start, the story poses this really interesting question, something that will make you think. It's simple, really. Can a tiny little tree, one that's been so carefully shaped, actually teach us a big lesson about life itself? Let's find out together. All right, so let's meet our main characters. The story is all about two sisters. There's Amalu, she lives in the city, and then we have our elder sister, Akaya, who has come all the way from her village for a visit. And believe me, this visit is what sets everything in motion. Now, what's really, really striking is just how different their lives turned out to be. You see, Akaya, she was so keen to study. She really wanted to, but she never got the chance. Instead, she was married off to someone from a village, and her life, well, it became one of hard, back-breaking work from morning till night. But her brother, Anaya, he got a full education. This difference, this huge contrast, is right at the heart of the story. It shows us how just one thing, opportunity, can completely shape a person's life. So maybe to change the subject or lighten the mood a bit, Amalu decides to show her sister something she is incredibly proud of. She takes Akaya out to the balcony to show her what she calls her prized collection of bonsai trees. So you might be wondering, what exactly is a bonsai? Well, it's this Japanese art form, a really fascinating one, actually. You take trees that would normally grow huge, and I mean massive, and you grow them in these tiny little pots. You trim them and shape them so they stay small and ornamental. And Amal, she is just so passionate about this. She calls it a great art. She's completely amazed that you can take something as massive as a banyan tree and keep it in a small flower pot. But Akaya, well, she doesn't see it that way at all. She doesn't share any of her sister's excitement, not one bit. Instead, she just looks at these tiny trees with a kind of pity and surprise. And her first question is very direct, very blunt. She just asks, "Why have you planted these trees in flower pots? Look, see how stunted they have become?" Now that word she uses, stunted, it's so important here. To be stunted means you've been stopped from growing properly, from reaching your full potential. So when Akaya looks at these trees that could have been big and strong, all she sees is something that's been held back, something that has not been allowed to be what it was meant to be. And then, as if on cue, right in the middle of this tense moment between the sisters, the weather itself just changes. The whole mood shifts in an instant. Suddenly, a huge dust storm starts to rage outside. So naturally, Amalu rushes to shut all the windows. And as they both look outside, they can see all the chaos of the storm. But then they see it. There's a huge tarai tree out there, standing tall and strong against the crazy wind and rain. And underneath its branches, a group of people are taking shelter, completely protected. And you can hear the change in Akaya's voice, a kind of excitement now. She points and says, look how tall that tarai has grown, and it has given shelter to so many people. For her, this is what a tree should be. She sees its value, its freedom, and its power to help others, all because it was allowed to just grow. And then she makes a very sharp comparison. She turns and points to the little bonsai trees on the balcony. She says, now look at the bonsai you have looked after so lovingly. See how delicate it is? It can't even handle a small dust storm. She's showing the weakness, you see, the weakness that comes from being kept small and confined. And this right here is the heart of the entire story. This is where Akaya connects everything together. She looks at her sister and asks this incredibly powerful question. Isn't a woman's life like that of a bonsai because of the difference in the way we bring up a boy and a girl? And just like that, this is not a story about trees anymore, is it? It becomes this powerful metaphor about how girls, when they are denied things like education and freedom, are kept small. They are prevented from reaching their full potential, just like a bonsai tree. Wow, those words, they hit Amalu really hard. Her heart is completely touched. She looks at her beautiful, perfectly cared for bonsai trees, and for the very first time, she feels this sudden, strong urge to just break their pots and plant them in the open ground, to just let them grow wild and free. This is it. This is her moment of understanding, of realization. And that brings us to the end. The story leaves us with this big question, and it's not just for Amalu or Akataya, it's for all of us, isn't it? It really makes you think, why is it so important for every single person, no matter who they are, to have the freedom to grow to their absolute full potential? It's a powerful idea to reflect on. Thanks so much for joining me today to explore this wonderful story.